Hello YouTube, glad to see you on this new video about opening traps, and I'm going to show you a few funny tricks on the Caro-Kann defense this time. It will be a short video, I only have 2 traps to show you today, but nevertheless I hope you will find them very interesting. So the first one happens in the 2 knights variation of the Caro-Kann. A bit of a sideline, but we're going to see it right now. E4 and C6, this small pawn move constitutes the Caro-Kann defense. And now white doesn't play D4, which is the most common move, but plays knight to C3. Very good move as well. Black plays D5 as planned. And with white you play knight to f3, so this is why we call it the 2 knights variation of the Caro-Kann defense. And similarly to the main line, the good idea for black is probably to exchange pawns on e4. So that's what he does. D takes e4, knight takes e4, and now bishop f5. So if black knows the Caro-Kann defense, in the main variation where white plays d4, the move bishop f5 is the best one when there is not yet a knight on f3. But here the best move was bishop g4, because this bishop on f5 can be efficiently attacked by white, and we're going to see how now. Of course you play knight to g3. Well, this is very standard, attacking this bishop on f5, which retreats on g6 to keep this long diagonal, which is a very good one. With white you play h4 with the threat h5, and if you manage to play h5, then this bishop has no square to go, so it's gonna get captured. Of course black plays h6, and you see that here black plays as in the standard line. So it's really the same, except that white has played the move knight to f3 instead of d4, and this makes actually a difference, because white can now attack this bishop quicker, and that's what white does with the move knight to e5. Again, all this is a little bit forced to black. You play bishop to h7, and now with white there is a very strong move, which is queen h5, and you see that there is an obvious checkmate threat on the square f7. Of course queen takes f7 is a very strong threat, so black must play g6 and therefore completely bury the h7 bishop. But okay, it seems like white will also lose the tempo, bring back the queen. So it's not really clear, if you look at it quickly, that white has any advantage. But there is one move with white that you have to make, and that proves that you actually have a big advantage already in this position. And try to find it, of course. Well, it seems white's attack is almost over, but after the move bishop c4, you win one more tempo, because the threat is, of course, bishop takes f7 checkmate. So black cannot capture the queen on h5. So black has to play e6, and then only you play queen e2. And well, this is not a winning by force opening trap, but with more active pieces, better development, white has a really good position. Well, you have 3 pieces developed. Well, 3 minor pieces plus the queen. Black has none. This h7 bishop is just ridiculous. Black will have a very difficult game. Right now, black is not lost, but if black plays normal moves, normal looking moves like knight f6, it's even losing by force, because after knight f6 you have knight takes f7, and it's completely winning for white. King takes f7, queen takes e6, king g7, and queen f7 mate. So really good position for white, and black has a very hard game ahead, if not losing. The second line is more a trap as we usually understand it, as it gives us material advantage very quickly. So this starts with e4, c6, d4, d5, and this is the exchange variation. Not so common in the Caro-Kann, but certainly better than in the French defense. So e takes d5, c takes d5, and white plays bishop d3. Very good move. And now black plays the move knight to c6. It's a good move, no problem with that. It's attacking the d4 pawn, but black should not get too excited about the d4 pawn. We are going to see why. So white plays knight to f3 to protect this pawn. And I said that black should not get too excited about this pawn, because if black plays the bishop to g4, pinning the knight, white can continue with, for instance, knight b to d2. And if black tries to win the pawn on d4, it's not going to end up very well for black, as we're going to see. So knight takes d4. And now with white, what do you play? If you've seen my video about the Queen's Gambit decline, then you may have found it, because it's a very similar trap. And the correct move is knight takes d4 here. And indeed, this knight on f3 was actually not pinned. It was only looking as such, because knight takes d4 and white is not afraid of bishop takes d1, because you just play bishop b5 check. Unfortunately, black can only move the queen to d7, and then bishop takes d7, king takes d7, king takes d1, and with white you have 3 minor pieces against 2 on the black side, so this is really easily winning. This is more an opening trap as we usually understand it. There are other opening traps in the Caro-Kann defense, but these were the 2 I wanted to show you. I hope you found them interesting. Maybe you didn't know them already. The next video I will show you some opening traps in the Petrov defense, so stay tuned and hope to see you soon. Bye bye!